Ladies and gentlemen, here to bring you up to date on the state of the out-of-home industry today and tomorrow, please welcome OAAA President and Chief Executive Officer, Nancy Fletcher.
And I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. We gonna rise up, ain't time to take a shot.
Well, good morning, colleagues and friends. We're here in beautiful Boca Raton to celebrate some important milestones, and we're also here to take a look at what out-of-home needs to do, what we need to do all together to continue this growth in out-of-home advertising. Before I go any further, I'd like to give a special thanks to our co-chairs, Helma and Scott, and Kim Frank. Wow, let's give her another hand. Congratulations. That 20-year research road that brought her to TAB, or formerly TAB, was really a victory for the out-of-home industry. Now let's take a look at just some of those milestones. In 2015, the out-of-home industry hit a new revenue peak of $7.3 billion. The highest industry revenue ever. That followed 23 consecutive quarters of growth. In fact, out-of-home is the only traditional advertising medium that has achieved such a long and continuous winning streak, and of that we should be extremely proud. And today go ahead, give it a hand. Thank you. And today we celebrate a milestone of a different kind, because today is the anniversary, the 125th anniversary of the founding of the Outdoor Advertising Association of America. You have to give credit to an organization that has been there so long, but still has such passion for the future and for making everything better in every way for this industry. For 125 years, OAAA has been here to protect, promote, and advance our industry. And I don't know if Sean Riley's back there or not, but there is one misconception that I need to clear up. Sean, are you in the room? Sean? It is absolutely not true that I've been at OAAA for all 125 years. At dinner recently, he suggested that he was a child when I got into this business. I think we have to maybe compare our driver's licenses a little bit. Now, you may have recognized the music when I walked on. It's a song called My Shot, and it's from the smash Broadway musical Hamilton, which, by the way, yesterday won a Pulitzer. The show has become a cultural phenomenon. It's a magnificent piece of work, incredibly inspiring. So much so I've seen it twice, thanks to getting the tickets really early, because unfortunately they're pretty expensive and hard to get now. But it tells the story of Alexander Hamilton. And for all of our industry leaders and our guests from other countries, Alexander Hamilton was one of the really most fascinating of our founding fathers. The musical of Hamilton takes one of the oldest stories in American history, and it reinterprets it for our times. By using hip-hop and rap, it tells a well-known story in a completely new way, and I promise I won't try to rap, I promise. But one of the lines is, "I'm just like my country, young, scrappy, and hungry, and I am not throwing away my shot." Now, you all know that I live and breathe out-of-home advertising, so we're at this play with my husband, and I hear those words, scrappy and hungry, and I said, "Ron, that's the out-of-home industry. That's who they are." So anyway, we are young, scrappy, and hungry, and we are not throwing away our shot. At the time our nation was born, similar symmetries to our industry, Hamilton was surrounded by a lot of folks who were trying to slam the brakes on change. He and the founding fathers, though, persisted, and they eventually fanned a spark into the powerful flame of an independent nation. Just like Hamilton, the out-of-home industry was and still is scrappy and hungry, and again, we are not throwing away this shot that we have now in 2016. Over the last 125 years, though, the industry has been through a host of changes. From standardizing posters in 1900, which is really what made it a medium. You can't have a medium that's not standardized. Offering bulletins in the 1920s to creating this gorgeous array of out-of-home formats that we have all across the country today. We glued paper to wooden boards. We moved on to hand painting on wood and steel. Then we began computer printing on vinyl. Now we're designing digital displays and connecting them in all kinds of ways. For 70 years, we were counting cars, just like the man in Kim's slide. Then 10 years ago, we launched TAB out-of-home ratings. Each time the change was disruptive. Each time, you all know there were people who didn't want to do that. They wanted to slam the brakes on change. But instead, the industry broke through and made the significant investments required. It was never easy, but each time the industry embraced innovation and made that next leap forward. And what made us strong then is what I think will make us strong now. The fundamentals of the out-of-home industry are not the steel and the digital pixels and the printing. Of course, that's part of the business. But the real fundamentals of this business are our people, and it's our vision, our resolve, and our unity. They give us everything we need to make the next leap forward. That's how we protected private property rights on Capitol Hill and at state legislatures. And it's how we have achieved relative peace after decades of draconian anti-billboard measures. It's also how we developed eco-friendly materials and systems. Very proud of that. And it's how we established a successful regulatory and technology framework for the rollout of digital billboards. We successfully made our case with those who were opposed to digital billboards, and there were many. They're still out there, but we're making progress. And now, today, from big markets to small, we've begun to make the capital investments required to make another leap forward. As we've grown, we've learned from our history. Because of the smart decisions the industry has made, some of those decisions going all the way back to 1900 when posters were standardized, we are facing the most exciting future ever in 2016. If you want the summary of this speech, if you want the state of the industry, it's right there. We are facing the most exciting future ever in 2016. Let's give each other a hand for that. As proud as I am of those industry-wide decisions, I'm even more proud of how the industry has made them, with vision, with resolve, and most important of all, with unity. Despite being 125 years, out-of-home is still scrappy, and we are very, very hungry. And so today I want to talk about how we're going to build that bright future. What I see are 5 specific steps that we need to take together as an industry. Here they are. Closely connect out-of-home and digital. See to it that planning, buying, and measuring out-of-home is as easy as possible. Make the most of the power of data. Make everyone aware of out-of-home strengths, and serve the public good. This is Nancy's wish list, folks. This is the one. If you take a screenshot, this is it, do it. The first one, closely connect out-of-home and digital. As you know, ad revenues have been flooding from traditional to digital media. And when I say digital, we use that term here, I mean search, social, web, and especially mobile. Take a look at this. This information from Magna Global, and I know there's a lot of information here, but we'll walk through it. This is ad share information. It shows the actual market share in 2010 and 2015 and the projected market share in 2017 and 2019 for the 6 core media types in America. It shows that all traditional media, except out-of-home, is losing market share. It shows that by 2017, out-of-home will have a larger share than magazines, and that by 2019, out-of-home will have a larger share than newspapers. But here's the really big news. By 2017, digital will end television's 60-year reign as the largest advertising medium in the country. Digital's share of the media pie triples from 18% in 2010 to 2019, when digital is projected to have 49% of all ad revenues. All types of digital media, web, search, social, and mobile, all are growing at a fast rate clip and are expected to continue to grow at that rate. And here's why, and here's a lesson for all of us in the out-of-home industry. Advertisers like digital because content is easy to deploy, detailed audience analytics are available, and return on investment can be calculated. But while all of this has been happening, out-of-home has held its market share, and there's significant revenue growth in out-of-home in order to stay at the 4.3 market share. Out-of-home has become much more relevant, and out-of-home has actually become a part of that same interconnected media mix that includes digital. Of course, digital billboards, interactive kiosks, and place-based screens are prime examples of a more digital out-of-home. But we're also seeing more and more beautiful activations using printed out-of-home formats, connecting our medium with mobile. OAAA has been working to help define out-of-home's role in the larger media landscape. As we've proven from our research and in our campaigns, out-of-home is an accelerator of digital advertising of all types. That's because out-of-home drives people to search, interact, and transact with brands on their mobile devices, out in the real world, right then and there. And as an industry, we all have to get this story out more forcefully. When we do, advertisers will see greater value in out-of-home. We need to show them more forcefully the essential role out-of-home plays in multiplying the effectiveness of digital. We know that we can prove out-of-home is the medium that is most often shared by consumers. It generates more tweets and reviews, more likes and posts on Facebook and other platforms than any other advertising form. And we can prove that out-of-home by far is the most efficient and effective driver in the real world of clicks in the digital world. But if we are really going to take our shot, we need to do more. This is for those of you who are still slamming the brakes on change. We need to convert and build more digital out-of-home displays. But digital displays aren't all we need. We also have to connect out-of-home displays to digital with calls to action, driving consumers to engage or transact with specific websites or social media channels. Every out-of-home company, whatever its size or shape, is going to have to ramp up both its digital strategy and its digital investment. And as always, OAAA is here to help pave the way through education, research, standards, and communications. The second step is a familiar one, but that doesn't make it any less challenging. We still have to improve our customer experience by making out-of-home easier to plan, buy, and measure. For years, we've heard customers say that out-of-home can be difficult to use, that it can be hard to buy. We've heard that out-of-home planning tools still aren't on the desktop, and that out-of-home is sometimes ignored by advertisers because it's so different. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the phrase, "There's got to be a better way." Well, a better way is coming. Automatic and programmatic transactions are becoming a common method for evaluating and buying all forms of media. And as Scott mentioned this morning in the opening remarks, the out-of-home industry is following this inevitable trend by building platforms and offering solutions that allow fast and easy transfer of information. And you heard from Kim, a better way is also coming at TAB. The new TAB will make out-of-home easier to measure, and I want to congratulate Kim Frank and her team who have created a new vision for out-of-home ratings through their pilot program called Operation More. It's important that we all support TAB and their continued development of common measurement. Because if we do, it means the industry can unite around a better way of measuring out-of-home. It means out-of-home can be planned alongside other media, and that out-of-home can be considered right up there at the top, the hot medium, next to video and digital as a first choice for advertisers. Excuse me 1 minute. Too much speakeasy? The third step we need to take together as an industry may be the most revolutionary idea of all, and that's to make the most of the power of data. Many of the smartest people in out-of-home today tell me that data is the industry's single biggest opportunity. Well, think about it. New capabilities in how we collect, process, and analyze data will allow us to understand, segment, and target out-of-home audiences with a lot more precision. It will let us engage consumers with more relevant messages and let us measure out-of-home's return like never before. And here's the thing, we can do it all while protecting the privacy of consumers. For our advertisers and for the out-of-home industry, it is a transformational opportunity. Recently, several companies have made announcements about the launch of new products and services, which when coupled with data and analytics platforms promise to provide information that extends beyond audience measurement. These new capabilities have the power to improve and improve significantly the effectiveness of out-of-home campaigns, and they'll be able to prove it. Better audience information and tailored demographics will allow us to target audiences like never before, and thanks to the insights we gain through data analysis, every out-of-home display can have its own personality and unique characteristics. The out-of-home industry should seize the opportunity and the power that data has. Some of the leading companies and suppliers have begun these new initiatives and are already making impressive progress, but this should also be an industry-wide focus. TAB and OAAA should work with our members, work with them to develop education, guidelines, common standards, whatever we need so that the entire out-of-home industry can participate and benefit. Plus, let's publicly state our respect for privacy. Let's update the industry code of principles. Now it's time for our fourth step. The fourth step is to loudly, clearly, and proactively tell the story about the creative strengths and the competitive advantages of out-of-home advertising. In the midst of this massive movement of dollars to digital, we need to break through all the noise and let the world know just how real out-of-home is. And don't forget that out-of-home is not subject to ad blocking, online ad fraud, or ad skipping. We need to remind people of out-of-home's powerful ability to build brands. Digital doesn't do that as well as out-of-home does. We need to continue to highlight the out-of-home's gorgeous creative canvas and show just how large it is, how engaging, high impact, and how relevant it is to time and place. In this era in which we live of digital and social media, marketing success often depends on being able to change the conversation, and that we have started to do. We've been changing people's minds by telling our story with campaigns like Feel the Real, and you'll be hearing more about that tomorrow morning. We targeted media planning and buying professionals from ad agencies in top markets across the country. We told our story of how out-of-home advertising in the real world drives clicks and engagements in the digital world, and then we proved it. We proved it by driving thousands of advertising professionals online to learn more about out-of-home's value proposition. It was a tremendous success, and it has begun to change the conversation. We all have to keep this up. We have to tell the out-of-home story to a whole new generation of media and advertising professionals. So next, we're planning a localized second phase of Feel the Real, and we'll be breaking through in other ways. I can't tell you what it is yet, but we'll be launching a brand new industry campaign that celebrates the power of out-of-home. I can't tell you what this is either, but there was great excitement at the OAAA board meeting yesterday. There will be new public-private partnerships to highlight our unique storytelling ability, like the Art Everywhere and National Park Centennial campaigns. There will be more celebration of award-winning creative work as the OBie's next year hits its 75th anniversary, and more cutting-edge research. If we expect to be a bigger part of the media mix than in 2016 and beyond, our top priority must be to keep raising the out-of-home brand and building the out-of-home profile. And then there's the fifth and final step, one that's really near and dear to my heart, and that's to serve the public good. This step, which is all about connecting our business with the communities we serve, makes everything else we do possible. Without it, there wouldn't be an out-of-home advertising industry. That beautiful out-of-home platform, and in fact the livelihoods of all of us in this room, depend on municipal contracts, planning committees, zoning boards, national, state, and local legislatures, and even the courts. Our success has been built on strong industry advocacy. It's built on lobbying and partnering. That's what will maintain and expand the current out-of-home platform. It is this advocacy and development work that will allow the industry to grow and to thrive as it always has. As you all know, out-of-home is not only one of the oldest advertising mediums, it's also by far the most public. We are seen on public streets, buses, train stations, subways, malls, airports, cinemas, everywhere when you go outside the home. So, you see, we have a very special responsibility. We have to be good corporate citizens. We have to give value to the communities that support us. The best way to ensure our success is for the industry to stay united in the legislative and legal arenas under the OAAA umbrella, and also to continue our industry-wide commitment to doing good and to public service so that we are an increasingly positive part of the American experience. I think we all want to be part of something bigger than ourselves. Like Alexander Hamilton during the American Revolution, the out-of-home industry has an opportunity to become part of something much bigger. We are at a critical point in our 125-year history, and we face a range of challenges and choices that will determine our future. But here's something I know. I know we have the vision to make the right choices, we have the resolve to make the necessary changes, and we have the unity to come together no matter what the marketplace or the world might throw at us. We've proved that over the years. So I look out here at all of you, and I see a strong, vibrant, and creative industry. I see an innovative industry, and I thank you, all of you, for being part of it. As Alexander Hamilton says elsewhere in that song, what are the odds the gods would put us all in one spot? Think about that, the opportunity we have today. What are the odds the gods would put us all in one spot? Out-of-home has what it takes to succeed, and we are not, I repeat, not for an instant, throwing away our shot. Thank you.